USC is what?
Well, I think more than anything, they have so many interchangeable pieces. They have so many guys that can drive the basketball, can score the basketball, can make threes, can just make plays, period. So that versatility defensively and that versatility offensively, causes problems for you. And so I think more than anything, of trying to keep them out of rhythm and also trying to keep them from having angles and driving the basketball, offensively, but they do a good job of putting pressure on the ball. They also scheme differently. So like what they run sometimes is different from game to game. Obviously they didn't have Claude in the last game, so that made it different, would be my guess. But then defensively, he'll do some different things in terms of his scheme, whether they pressure, they don't let you get to your right hand. They played in a deep drop versus Michigan State. So you just have to be prepared for everything, more than anything when you play his teams. Like, he does a good job of being able to change and trying to get the opponent to play to their weakness.
For the players, do you lean on the experience of playing Arkansas in the preseason last year, or is it?
Yeah, it'll be discussed, just like I would guess he discusses it with those guys, even though he doesn't have any players, from that team. I don't believe. But yeah, his teams play hard. They're very physical. They get after you. They want to push the tempo. He's gone to a lot of different transfers, a lot of different guys, and you're seeing some guys here that haven't played much that are now getting an opportunity that played pretty well in the last game. So it's interesting, especially if Claude comes back, because obviously he's going to play and play a lot. But no, I think we just got to be prepared for a lot of different looks, whether that's through the post or whether that's ball screen defense. They'll run and jump. They'll do some different things of that nature. But I think you just got to be prepared for everything.
Do you want your players paying attention to the standings in situations like this?
Obviously, they're going to know what it is. Who cares? You know what I mean? It gets everything, whether it's good and bad, is out there. So.
But do you want them?
I could care less. I want them to rebound and take care of the basketball. I keep on the functionality of things. I don't. We talk about winning a Big Ten championship. We talk about, winning it 3 years in a row, casually speaking. But at the end of the day, you got to be tougher than your opponent. You got to compete. You got to play hard. You got to be functional. I thought we didn't have any energy the other night until we started making shots, and then we got energy. Well, what would have happened if we didn't make those shots? I don't think we would have found any energy, and that's what you have to be able to do. You have to be able to have that energy when things aren't going your way. It's a hard thing to do, but it's still possible, and that's kind of where our focus is.
Talked about limiting Trey's fouls or Trey limiting his fouls. Is that just a thing where you officiate him harder in practice?
Yeah, you just watch film and be honest about it, because it's not. I know he had 2 moving screens the other night. He also had a post. Playing post defense, he got a foul, which I didn't think was a foul. And so, he got a verticality one where he turned on contact, which was a foul. Then it happened later in the game, very similar, and we don't get that call, which is a small change, but it's still the legality of turning once there's contact was his call. So yeah, you just try to get him to be physical without fouling and understand things and not have fatigue mistakes more than anything. He plays a lot of minutes.
Do you think the way he's been officiated has changed any throughout the year?
No, not really. Not really. I think it's been relatively fair. I think it's more, he's had some bad calls here and there go against him, but who doesn't, right? Everybody has that to a degree. I always try to get them to be honest about it and not be emotional. That's why I try not to talk on things until I watch it. Because when things are correctable and they're fouls, you get emotional and you get mad. You're not going to get anywhere. Just watch the film and see it and make the corrections.
What's your message to Cam and Miles right now with their shooting struggles?
Do I what?
What's your message to Cam and Miles right now with their shooting struggles?
Just take good shots. Just keep taking the shots that come your way, and just keep working on your game. Don't take tougher ones and think that's going to get you going. That makes it worse. So if you're just getting a shot up when you get in the game, just to get a shot up, get your feet set, step into your shot, be ready to take it. for the most part, they're taking good shots. Like, just keep taking.
With CJ jamming, you're getting some easy layups just off of poking the ball away and getting steals, but also you're getting some fouls 70 feet from the basket.
Yeah.
Where's the balance of you want him to be aggressive, but also not overly aggressive to where it hurts your team?
Yeah, you want to put pressure on the ball, and when you go up there versus quickness, like they can get by you too. So sometimes when you have that built-in help up top, it's no big deal. It's really no big deal at all. But sometimes when they flatten things out and they give more space, it is a big deal. And we've had that go against us too. So it's kind of a downside to pressure, and is their ability to beat you off the bounce, but also reaching in there and getting some silly fouls. Especially when you're in the bonus. Like we've had a couple here lately, but they haven't been in the bonus. So you just don't want to hand them points.
Knowing that he's going to play 20 or 25 minutes, can he afford to be maybe more aggressive? And he's not going to get in 5 fouls probably in 25 minutes.
I don't look at it that way. I kind of look at it from the discipline standpoint, and I always try to get them to understand, be more aggressive when you see blood in the water. Like, be more aggressive when somebody shows weakness, no matter what it is. Sometimes they have a predetermined thought, and they're going to do that no matter what. Like, just if someone's going to cross you over, like, be ready for them. Like, if they're going to put the ball right in front of your face, or they're going to leave the ball out there when they spin or change direction, be ready for that. But it's something you should have seen while you're watching him or while you're guarding him. And then when he does it and shows weakness, be aggressive and go after it. But if he doesn't, it's hard to take the ball off of good players.